So something that people have been wanting to hear desperately, I've been getting, I'm sure Kyle has been getting it as well. There's a loud dog over there. But Woody was in an accident, and everybody's been asking me, what the hell's going on? And I've been honestly saying, I have no idea. Woody did not tell Kyle or I what's going on. We have no clue. So these are genuine reactions to the thing.
Yeah, so the trip started out well enough. The mission was to go from North Carolina via roads to Colorado, and then dirt roads up the Rocky Mountains across Colorado and Wyoming. This is like 2,000 miles-ish, and then roads back home. That's not how it went out. If you guys remember me, right before, I was like, dude, I'm watching all these, like the people who choose these roads, who like lay out the back road discovery route. That's what it's called. They all had medical emergencies in their promotional videos. And I'm like, maybe we'll get one. Well, my dream came true. So that's my bone. Zach, can you zoom in on the right? It's the smaller bone. That it's called the fibula. And
hey, Slush, we're getting some noise from a dog.
Sorry.
There it is. So the smaller one that's off to the side, do you see how it has that like horizontal sort of division? That's supposed to be one bone. That's where the break is. Yeah. So it's not like a fake thing or whatever. And if you look at it, so of course there's the big split across the big bone. I don't even know what that is. The tibula and the foot bone.
Fibula?
The fibula is the little one to the side.
Yeah.
Zach is pointing it out well. That break doesn't belong there. And you can't see from this angle, but the bottom part isn't quite on right. Like it's good enough. We're not going to operate probably, but he gave me the option. He's like, I could go in there. I could put some screws here and here. I could put a plate on the side. That's what my other leg looks like. And it's not awesome to have hardware in your leg. Like, I don't know. You throw in like a ski boot and all of a sudden it clamps against the screws and it's uncomfortable and painful and shit.
TSA.
No, I go right through the metal detectors. I think it's titanium and that's why, but I'm not sure. So what they did instead is put me in a cast. Here, Zach, can I full screen? We got this guy going on.
Look how big they had to make the cafe. We're gonna need more paper mache.
Smuggling hams, man.
So they put my foot in a cat. It was a bit of a thing. I got out there well. There's this iron butt challenge where you do 1,000 miles in a day. I did over 1,100. I crushed it. I'm definitely going to qualify as an iron butt person. The first person ever to do it on my model motorcycle. I was excited about that. Nice. This is not a thing that people give a shit about, but I do, and I was excited. I hit my goal. I had some trouble with the bike. The front brake kept locking up hard. Happened 3 times, and it's like, this is dangerous. So I got separated from my group, and I had to catch them. Right. So they're on off road. I drop in. I don't want to miss any mountain passes or any fun of the experience. And I'm in pursuit mode. Right. Where the fuck is my cape? I'm going to catch these guys, chase them down. And I did. I caught all my friends. I was like, I couldn't believe I did it. Like I thought I was going to be a day and a half behind them. But I got on my horse. I caught everyone. And now I'm leading. I don't want to pump my tires too much. Well, I'm injured, so no one's going to think I'm too good. But when the off-road section gets really technical, right? Like the harder it is to get through it, the better I do. When it's easy, the worse I do, because then they start going really fast, and I'm not as fast as them. I'm not as fast as them on the street or on, like, I don't know how to say paved dirt road, but like, really well manicured dirt road. I get my ass kicked. But when it's really rough and bumpy and there's big rocks and shit, I'm usually the fastest guy. It might be my bike, but whatever. This is where my attitude went wrong. I had been, leading the pack, having a blast, hitting jumps all day long, just rocketing that thing in the air. And I was really feeling it. You weight shift well and stuff when you're on top of your game. And there was this like rock formation that looked like a really cool jump. And I was like, yeah, jump number 932. Here we come. We're going to catch air again.
Everything's been coming up, Woody.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
The other side wasn't I expected. I didn't look before I leapt. And on the downside was a hole. And what's important is like say your bike just sort of jumps in an arc. If it's flat or downhill on the other side, I'm happy. But because it's a hole, I kind of jumped into the arc and hit the upward side. Yeah. Which is to say, at my angle, I crashed into a wall. And That went poorly. My face like slammed into the bike's windshield, which was no trouble because I have a full face helmet.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of like not driving this thing for 8 seconds, 10 seconds. It was enough to lose control. And
You mean like you just hit so hard you were stunned? Like not.
stunned, and maybe my hands came off the handlebars. Like I tried to save it. Like I tried to keep my chest on the tank and get back in position, but I didn't succeed. And eventually I fell over to the side. My bike landed on my right foot and my toe pointed towards the back tire.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I had some pretty protective boots on, but broken fibula, high ankle sprain, for those of you who know medical stuff. And now I have a problem because I'm like 2 hours deep in the woods in the Rocky Mountains, 2,000 miles from home on a motorcycle.
Mhm.
And I gotta like get all this solved. The boys are camping at night and I'm supposed to camp too, but I was like, guys, excuse me. I'm gonna get a hotel, find some ice, stuff like that. And even that was a challenge. Lake City, Colorado is such a small place. Literally no one had rooms. Nobody. And I'm just like sitting in a hotel with no vacancy, like a motel,
That
talking,
sucks.
calling, etc. And a guy who owns it or works there is like, "Are you in trouble?" And I'm like, "Well, I think I broke my leg and I don't have any place to stay and I'm just sorting that out now." And he's like, "We have an emergency room for people like you if you want it." And I was like, "Fuck." And really my thought, my first impression was, well, I don't want to impose. Like that was my like my knee-jerk reaction. Like, well, I'll sort this out myself. I don't need your emergency room.
Then he told me it was $65 a day. So I got the hell out of there.
It was like, you know what? Actually, yeah, I do have a broken leg, and I like maybe this warrants using this empty room he keeps for people who get hurt. And you know, then everything started going well for me. There was a restaurant that didn't deliver. I called them up, and I was like, you know, you got anyone there? They were a block away, 1 block. I was like, I'll tip a guy $20 if he just walks the food over. And they're like, we don't deliver. And I'm like, I really need you to. I really need you to. I am laid up. I can't walk. I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten today. You know, I'm like, maybe you got a guy that they were about to close. I was like, maybe you got a guy there who after closing, you know, wants to earn $20 in 2 minutes. Like, and that's what happened. So, you know, they brought me a big bag of ice and stuff. That they took good care of me. Staff there was like, hey, they gave me a ride to the medical center. It was half a mile, but I was really appreciative. And
Nice people.
I got my x-rays, and that's when I learned it was broken. And it wasn't the news I wanted to hear, but yeah. Anyway, so Zach, could you pull some more pictures up? We've got some foot pics for you perverts out there.
Yes, I'd love to see more pics. That is so. What is the total amount of time you can't like put weight on it, do anything? Like, what are you laid up for?
So I'm in the cast for 2 weeks, and with that, I can't put weight on it at all. I am cleared to lift weights, so I can move around. I'll start that again tomorrow.
That's way less time than I thought you'd say. 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after the cast comes a boot, and with that, like, he's like, you know, you put the foot on the ground, pretend you're walking on eggs that you're trying not to break. So it like you still use crutches, but you're starting to put your foot through the motions of walking on it and adding more weight. And then probably somewhere around 6 to 8 weeks, I'm in a normal shoe. So
That's not too bad.
yeah,
It's fine.
this
I thought it'd
fibula
be way
break
worse.
is not too bad. It turns out the tibula, which is the bigger one in the x-ray picture, does all the load bearing, and the fibula is about stability. And you know, you put it in a cast or a boot and you can fake that while it heals.
Was it really one of those breaks where like it wasn't that painful? It was just
Didn't hurt.
shocking.
It hurts
and then
more now. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. But yeah, people are like, what's your pain level? What's your pain level? I'm like, 0. This is like something
Really?
guarding. Like imagine you hurt your shoulder really bad. You might carry it like this, you know, you hold your own wrist and put it across your body. That's known as guarding. And something about my broken leg made me want to guard it. It made me want to not walk on it very much, not do like the kind of side to side pivots a basketball player would do. Nothing like that. But if you just wanted to stand on it through the heel, I mean, I did that on my motorcycle for 2 hours through the dirt roads, getting back to civilization, and it was pretty much okay. But now that like things have sort of settled and maybe sensations coming back and stuff. Like it hurts more. It hurts more when it throbs and bothers me when I'm not elevating it and stuff like that. But
I found it really
glad
hard
you-
when I broke mine when I was like 19 and trying to ride my motorbike. I couldn't like move my foot up and down. So like to change gears, I had to like pull out my boot and then hook my heel onto the gear selector and like jiggle it up and down.
this was to get home, or you did that for like a little while?
No, so I broke it when I was out drunk, so I stepped off a footpath and it was higher than I thought, and I rolled it and I broke pretty much the same bone as you, as far as I remember, and it was just like a little hairline fracture.
Just a couple of adrenaline junkies.
We're in the bad decision team.
Fuck up. Yeah. Mine like swelled up like massive, and then the next day I was at my friend's house and I couldn't get home without riding my motorbike, so I'm trying to ride it with a broken ankle. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, mine's swollen too by a lot. I had pictures, but Zach's not bringing them up. But
yeah,
and one's purple and one's white. Those things, but yeah. Maybe did I give him a bad link? Let me see.
He says he doesn't have them yet.
He needs to scroll down.
So does this discourage you in any way from future motorcycling pursuits across these great 50 states?
There's no
Of course
way.
not, right?
Not at all.
I bought you something today. I need you to send me your address. I asked for it earlier to put on your wall. It'll be fun. I feel like it. I feel like it's you.
Okay.
I found a poster thing. Yeah, I didn't think it would discourage you at all. I can imagine Jackie's reaction as being like, "Again, huh? All right. Well, you okay? Sounds good. See you soon."
Yeah, I imagine she'd be like, "Oh, only 2 weeks? Oh, hardly noticeable." Like,
Our leading.
Oh my goodness, is that Wing's foot?
I wish you hadn't said wings, because I was going to say it looks like a really obese person's foot. It's too zoomed in. I don't. But,
Potato.
yeah, that's what mine looked like. Yeah.
it is so
That's good.
swollen in there, and
Oof.
that must have been in Colorado. Looking at the carpet.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah,
hotel
did it
go
that
like-
picked me up
Did it
with.
go like really black, like overnight? Yeah.
Oh,
Look at that.
I
So the
think we
bad
might be
foot is
back. Now, are we back home here?
Yeah, that's my guest bathroom tile.
I was gonna
That's
say,
the tile that I lay on when I'm hungover.
I saw that tile. I
cold.
was like, that is not motel tile.
no, that's heat-seeking tile from Woody's drunk face.
Yeah. When we do a drinking episode and I put my face on the tile and thank it for its cool heat
It feels so
transfer,
good.
that's the tile. That's the tile. But yeah, it's oddly weird color.
Yeah, it's
it
just
doesn't
swollen
still
with
look
blood,
like that.
right? You know, doing its healing thing.
And that's the cast.
Did
So,
you pick blue, or is that what they had?
They had a bunch of colors. I picked this color.
I like
Do you
blue.
think? Have you ever seen people with those rainbow ones?
Yeah.
Is that's a patterned strip, right? You're not like signing up the nurse to like do an art project, are you?
Don't
that would
think
be
I
really
wasn't
rude.
looking at the girl colors. I'm like, wait, they have yellow. When I was in high school, I got fuchsia as a cast once, and I'm like, Woody, just back off the femininity for a little bit. If you could be masculine for just a few seconds, you'll be grateful for the next 2 weeks.
What do you want? I don't know, gray. Something. Give me
Got it,
camo.
There we go. That to me
Yeah.
looks like they used a bunch of different colors.
Yeah.
See,
I
a
don't
bunch of
see, like,
different
any
colors,
transitions.
That's a little rude. Really,
that's-
like they've got other people to be taping up, and you're asking for custom colors.
I really like your toenails.
I
in this
think I want my
one.
money's worth.
I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I work so hard.
It is festive, you know. That's nice.
So yeah, then I had to get myself home. I rode my motorcycle a few hours to a small town, and I called a shipper. And there are motorcycle shipping companies for $1,000. They're bringing the bike home. It should be here tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah.
And then I flew myself home. Well, I flew commercial. I didn't fly myself home.
Out of the way, Captain. I've got this one.
I'm not going to let this be a
Don't
total
worry, I
loss of
stayed
a
in an
vacation.
emergency. I stayed in an emergency Holiday Inn Express last night.
But
Gonna get some more adrenaline on the
gutted.
way home to make up for it. We're gonna do loops the entire way home. Just hold on.
right, we got to get some
roll.
adrenaline
So
before I get home.
what was like the percentage of the trip you had completed at the time of the intro?
It's like
Like
so
half
little.
of it, like a third of it.
It depends whether you count the drive out there as part of the trip. There were kind of 3 legs, like out there, dirt, and back. But it was literally the first dirt day that I did.
Oh.
Damn.
How many days were you
I'm-
meant to be out there?
How many dirt days? Like 14, something like that.
Well, I'm
So-
14, and you injured yourself in like the first 2 hours.
I was so gutted. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I've
You
kind
were
of been
so stoked on this.
I've been, actively focusing on my mental health lately, right? Like, let's get some exercise, some sunshine, some sense of accomplishment, time with friends, like the sort of shit that makes you feel better in the mental health realm. And this trip had all of that, like the accomplishments, the friends, the sunshine, the physical activity, outdoors. Like, I had so much pegged on this thing making me happy, and it did quite the opposite. I was so gutted. There was a moment. So I'm trying to fly home, and I ride my motorcycle like 2 hours, and I go to the airport, the Gunnison, Colorado airport. It's this tiny regional little thing. And I've got my confirmation number on the phone, and I go to check myself in, and it says that it can't check me in if I'm not within 24 hours of my flight date.